Have you ever felt like you are running as fast as you can, but staying in the exact same place? You work for 30 years and save every penny you can, but your bank account never seems to take that giant leap you were promised. There is a very specific reason for this frustration. It is not because you are unlucky. It is not because you are not working hard enough. It is because of a hidden mathematical law that most people never learn. This is the law of the invisible wall. The legendary investor Charlie Munger once said something that shocked the world. He said that the first $100,000 is a total nightmare. He told people that they must get their hands on that amount at any cost. He did not care if they had to walk everywhere or eat only cheap soup. He knew that once you cross that line, the game of money changes forever. Today, we are going to look deep into the mathematics of pain. We will uncover why the early stages of building wealth feel like a constant struggle. And more importantly, we will show you exactly when the burden shifts. There is a point where the weight moves from your back to the shoulders of the market. Think of your financial journey as a massive rocket launch on a clear morning. The engines roar and consume vast amounts of fuel just to lift the ship a few inches. In those first few seconds, you see a lot of smoke and hear a lot of noise. But to the naked eye, the rocket is barely moving at all. This is exactly how it feels when you are trying to save your first $10,000. You skip your morning coffee and you cancel your vacations. You look at your balance at the end of the month and see almost no change. This is because in the beginning, 100% of your growth is manual labor. If you have $5,000 in a savings account, a 10% gain is only $500. $500 is nice, but it does not change your life. It barely covers the cost of a few bags of groceries in today's economy. This creates a psychological trap that stops 90% of people. They see the small results and assume that the effort is not worth the reward. They quit while they're still on the Olympics. They do not realize that they are just a few miles away from reaching orbit. In the first phase of wealth, you are the only engine. The market is not helping you, yet because your pile of capital is too small. Every dollar you save is a dollar you had to earn with your own time and sweat. You are fighting against inflation and you are fighting against taxes. It feels like you are trying to fill a bucket that has a small hole in the bottom. But if you keep pouring, the water eventually rises above the leak. This is the phase of pure discipline. It is the time when you must ignore the lack of visible progress. Most people fail here because we are wired to crave instant results. We want to see the harvest the same day we plant the seeds. But wealth does not grow in a straight line. It grows in a curve that starts very flat and then turns vertical. Once you reach that first $100,000, the math begins to transform. Suddenly, a 10% return on your money is $10,000. For many families, $10,000 is more than they can save in an entire year of working. This is the moment your money becomes a full minus-time employee. It is working for you while you sleep and while you are on vacation. It does not take sick days and it never asks for a raise. This is the tipping point where your capital starts to do more work than your labor. Imagine a giant boulder sitting at the very top of a steep mountain. In the beginning, you have to push with every ounce of your strength just to move it an inch. Your muscles ache and you are gasping for air. But once the boulder starts to roll over the edge, gravity takes over. You no longer need to push. In fact, the boulder is now moving faster than you could ever run. This is what happens when you reach the hyper-minus compounding zone. The second $100,000 will come much faster than the first, and the third $100,000 will feel like it happened almost overnight. This is because you are no longer the only one doing the work. The market is now acting as a powerful wind at your back. However, reaching this point in 25 is harder than it used to be. The cost of living is higher and the distractions are everywhere. If you are over the age of 50, you might feel like you started too late. But the laws of mathematics do not care about your age. They only care about the consistency of your actions. To reach this tipping point 30% faster, you need 3 specific accelerators. The first accelerator is what we call the efficiency filter. Every single dollar you lose to unnecessary taxes or high fees is a tragedy. It is a seed that was eaten before it could be planted. You must use every legal tool available to keep your money inside a protective shield. Whether it is a 401k or an IRA, these accounts are your best friends. They allow your money to compound without the government taking a bite every year. The second accelerator is lifestyle lag. This is the secret weapon of the truly wealthy. When your income goes up, your standard of living should stay exactly the same. Most people get a raise and immediately buy a newer car or a bigger television. They increase their expenses as fast as they increase their earnings. This keeps them trapped in the manual labor phase forever. If you want to reach the tipping point, you must keep that gap wide. That gap is the fuel that powers your rocket to orbit. The third accelerator is asset velocity. You must stop trading your time for money and start trading your money for assets. Assets are things that put money in your pocket regardless of what you do. This could be dividend stocks or high-yield bonds or even a small business. Focus on the quality of the asset rather than the excitement of the gamble. The goal is not to get lucky one time. The goal is to be right over a long period of time. If you can master these three things, the invisible wall will eventually crumble. You will wake up one day and realize that your investments earned more than your salary. That is the most incredible feeling in the world. It is the true definition of financial freedom. It means you are no longer a slave to the clock. You have won the game of time. But remember, the journey to the first 100,000 is meant to be hard. It is the filter that separates the dreamers from the achievers. It builds the character you will need to manage the millions that come later. Do not be discouraged by the slow start. Every great forest began with a single seed that spent weeks under the dirt in the dark. It looked like nothing was happening, but deep down, the roots were forming. Your roots are forming right now with every dollar you choose to save. Keep pushing that boulder until it reaches the edge. The view from the other side is worth every bit of the struggle. Before we go, I want to ask you a serious question. What has been the biggest obstacle holding you back from your first major milestone? Is it the cost of living, or is it a lack of a clear plan? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Our community grows stronger when we share our experiences and our challenges. If you found this helpful, please consider sharing it with someone who needs a boost. We are all in this race together. In our next video, we will discuss the specific tax traps to avoid in 2025. We want to make sure you keep every dollar you work so hard to save. Please remember that this content is for educational purposes only. You should always consult with a professional financial advisor before making big decisions. Your future self will thank you for the discipline you showed today. Keep building and keep believing in the power of the math. The tipping point is closer than you think.